Brosplay. All right, going downstairs.
I've noticed that with radio commercials, there's also welcome back. Nice segue, Mitch. With radio commercials, there's basically three types maybe. There's
there's a bunch of types.
I mean, really, like maybe I'll come up with the number later. So there's basically the really standard one that you just tells you what it is. You know, this thing's available at this time. Maybe they tell you a price, something like that. Then there's the ones that try to come up with a very loose explanation for the thing that they're talking about, where it's like, hey, Jim, I would love to do this thing, but I can't because of that. And he's like, well, have you heard of this? And those are garbage. And then there's the absurd one. That's just like, you could explode simultaneously every single day at 12, or you could come here for lunch. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's just to get you to fucking talk about it with someone else. Have you seen the stupid ass commercial? Yeah, we should go there for lunch today.
The weird thing is that is actually how people think, though.
Well, you and I have talked about that regularly, or we've talked about it, but we've also done it. We've also like spread garbage content by talking about how bad it is, right?
I guess that's a good point. I didn't really think about it that way, but it is true. Any exposure is good exposure, right?
There's no news like bad news.
I will say, though, that I prefer those crazy, ridiculous commercials to the ones that are, hey, I've got this problem. Well, you know how you could solve that problem.
I prefer it, but I would rather you just be like, oh, Maracaibo Coast Highway on the top of the thing, available at 5. Like, I would just rather you just say it like that. Just tell me what it is. Don't bullshit me. Don't waste my time with your nonsense. Especially because
I think that's it
doesn't like get in your head, and that's probably why they don't. That's why they don't like it.
Exactly
as much,
why.
right?
Well, and also because if their commercial is just for something you don't need. Sorry, Fiona. You're just gonna say, like, you're just gonna chalk it up in your brain as one of those things you don't need to log.
Right.
You know, oh, stupid product, not interested.
The stupid product.
But if you put a ridiculous ad with that stupid product, it's effective. I just don't like the radio that exists these days. I don't think there's anything wrong with the medium itself. I think it's just the way it's being done. It's not good.
You think it's become worse, or is it just what it always has been?
I think it's basically what it's always been.
Yeah.
I would say there's some small aspect of them that is really hurting when it comes to satellite radio, podcasts, people bringing music with them in vehicles. There's a lot of...
Hurting or hurting?
Hurting. Well, they're trying to herd people. They've always been doing that.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think they're hurting these days just because there's so many competitors. And I think they're starting to up their ante a little bit. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of radio hosts do the ads.
Oh, okay.
And that's something I never thought about before, because you always think, oh, there's like radio hosts. It seems like, you know, they're always having fun when they're on there. But
right.
I bet you there's a lot of fucking work behind the scenes and a lot of like gross shit you don't want to do.
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Have you been to this rental store? They've got everything you need from A to B for this winter.
And you have to do all of it if you want to do, like, you enjoy the majority of the work, but you have to do that minority in order to have the rest of the job.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not even going to tolerate one time of you saying no. Like, it's just going to be like, oh, okay.
Well, we'll get someone who will.
There's like 1,000 people in every town who would love to be the radio guy. You are not, like, you're not in that position unless you have, like, ridiculous cred. And even then, like, Anthony Cumia got fired. And he had, like, massive cred.
Well, and what Anthony Cumia has done is sort of giving other people an idea of where they could potentially go. He made his own thing.
Is he podcasting or something like that?
Yeah, he has his own radio show. It's on. I forget the name of the network that he's on, unfortunately. But creating your own vehicle is the only way to do it if you want to maintain integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You could absolutely make a lot of money and be very successful doing someone else's thing. But if you want to have longevity, wow. That guy just got the fuck out of Dodge.
The guy was like, I've created my own vehicle, it has been taken over, and now I'm going to be successful somewhere else.
I am now a pedestrian.
That was Anthony Cumia. He just jumped right the fuck out of there. He was like, I'm out.
Good for him.
Peace, bitches. You got cred.
Yeah, I get street cred for that.
You got cred for killing a PMC?
No, well, yes.
Or was that guy like secretly a bad guy?
So I believe I get money for killing anyone who's not a civilian, essentially, because everyone has an enemy.
Someone will pay you?
Exactly.
That's so funny.
That's what I believe.
So if you got like all of the armies together and bombed them, you would just get paid outright. But I guess then the armies would be gone, and they would pay you.
Exactly. Yeah, they would be self-assured destruction.
That would be a pretty cool idea if they made a good Mercenaries film, where your ultimate idea is to destroy all of the bad armies in one area, and do it so swiftly that you can get to each PMC's like HQ and cash in on each one before all of them found out that all of them were dead, and then you take off.
Yeah, so there's only one you don't get paid by, and it's the last one that you just fuck them up.
Yeah, Idris Elba would be top choice. I also think maybe help me out here.
Sorry, this guy just honked at me because my car is in his way.
Well, I mean, it is.
Now there's a pole in your way, bitch. Deal with it.
I used to do that in GTA, like intentionally rip off the hood because it looked cooler.
It is badass under the hood.
What is going on with your camera, man? It's something. It's like naturally wants to go like really low every time you jump in a car.
I don't know.
Or is it you?
If it's me, because I have control over it, but it's not great control. Bitches be crazy. What's with that? Jesus, man.
That was straight up wildlife behavior.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I know it was safe
Things
on the other
aren't
side
safe.
of the road.
Let me jump.
No.
Wow. Universal
No.
Petroleum. Did you destroy the gate? Oh, I thought you destroyed the gate. That would have been great.
I would have cleared that. Fuck
Yeah.
you guys. Why did you let me in?
Yeah.
Why
Why is that gate operator so on it today?
Yeah, he's on the ball. That was actually really disappointing. I thought I was through, man.
Guy like took all of his caffeine this morning.
Oh, there's no one in here. That's why they're all backed up, because there's no driver in this vehicle.
Look how wobbly the MG is on there.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I don't know what to do anymore.
Who do I shoot? Who do I shoot?
It's like, oh, geez, Rick.
I had a weird experience at Canadian Tire today. I was putting my receipt away in my wallet, and the cashier says, "Is the door not opening?" And I looked at her. I said, "Oh no, I just need a minute." But she just made me look like such a moron. You know, like, oh, it's a motion sensor. You can just walk through it.
Like, you just stopped in your tracks. Like, what do I do? Excuse me. There's no door handle on this.
Yeah, it was very unusual, and I see her all the time. I've gone through that door many times, so I don't know what she was thinking. Oh man,
that's always awkward when you've seen somebody many times, and you don't know them that well, so you don't really like create anything. But you've seen them too many times and just not acknowledge them. Like bus rides are weird for me because it's the same people every day. But none of us know each other. We all recognize each other, and we would have a hard time placing each other if we found each other somewhere else. But nobody really acknowledges each other, right?
Yeah, that is kind of unusual, and like the bus is sort of a hard one for that. Just because you're not going to engage with all those people on the bus.
Well, no, and I don't want to. Especially because it's early morning, man.
Well, they don't want you to either.
First thing in the morning, man, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'd rather just chill on the way to work. It's a nice decompression, I guess. Even though I just woke up.
It's unusual that like how much our interaction with each other has changed over time. Like there was a period in time where there was no way that would be like that. That you would just, you know, when you're done your day, you just quietly you get on the bus, you don't talk to anyone, you go home, right? You'd probably be walking and you'd be seeing people all the time.
Well, even on the bus, like.
Oh, right.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually really cool. So to enter a boat, you just hit Y and you just fucking fly up to it. I like it. It's
all right
fast.
Then. Let's get some missions done so we can get the grappling hook and play the real game.
I don't know what we need to do to go in that direction.
Just keep going, man.
I guess. I don't know if I can get up.
Ramp it.
Slope.
Ramp it.
I don't think we're
Pin
going.
it.
We're not going fast enough.
Send it.
Here, we can do it.
Amazon. Amazon. 1 day delivery send, bro.
Yes.
That was a 6 to 8 week send, but we'll take it.
Bitch. Piece of shit.
The first time someone said send, like the expression send it, I had no idea what they meant. And now it has become an extremely frequent thing in my life.
So sort of, what do they mean by that?
To say send it, it just means like you like it's, full send. You just go forward fast.
I've never heard that except for now.
It's an expression that comes up a lot in Siege.
Oh, okay.
It's like the full send. You just fucking go. No stopping. No planning. Full send.
Interesting. Is it like frags? Like how many frags do you have? No.
It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of a weird thing to say. Because the first time someone said it to me, I'm like, I don't know what that means.
It's just lingo, right? That goes with the game.
Yeah, and then it gets like more extreme, where it's like, it's an Amazon free 2-day send. That's a pretty good send.
No, I still don't understand. I just don't get it. I'm one of those old people who just does not understand the lingo.
Well, like, if you, let's say you had like a catapult ready, and it's like, send it. You fucking fire it off,
Okay, that makes sense.
Send it in the in that expression is like to go forward, usually without a lot of thought,
Oh, so it's like Blitzkrieg almost. It's like charge forward.
I guess so, but like the first time I ever heard it was this guy. He's like a snowmobile guy, and he's like, "Weather's not looking very good. Still gonna send it."
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. No, I think they're bastardizing that word.
I think everybody's bastardizing words. I
agree.
Bastardized was the first bastardized word.
People are literally turning words into bastards.
Are you just gonna rock a sniper and an RPG now?
I think so.
It's a pretty sick loadout, man.
It is. Well, especially because this thing, you don't really need to use the scope. Look how tight that aimer is. Tight. Yeah, there we go. Mission come.
I love that type. That font is very nice, and it's very nice.
Speaking of fonts, not to totally sidetrack, but we have to fill out like a performance review at work, and it's all online. And the default, like, it even tells you to choose a font, but the default font is size 2 Helvetica. Size 2 Helvetica, and I just thought, we're like any other company in the world. We use Arial or Calibri 99% of the time.
Yeah. And
then you just decided to use Helvetica, and even though it says size 2, it's really like size 10. So I just do not understand what's going on.
That's really weird.
Very unusual.
12 is like a standard for type.
I've never seen Helvetica
on really
like anywhere other than road signs.
Oh no, wait, Helvetica's is that Arial?
Arial is used for everything.
No, because I'm pretty sure. I think Helvetica, Arial is actually a copy of Helvetica.
I thought they were similar, but not the same.
I'm pretty sure it was there. Like Helvetica, I believe, is a Mac thing, and then Microsoft made Arial, which is essentially Helvetica.
Oh, I see.
I can't remember how that went. It was something along those lines.
Yeah, Microsoft wanted to take it for themselves.
Yeah,
so they came up with their own.
Helvetica definitely got. It's an extremely popular font because it's very good for legibility. But as we know, as I have quoted many times, to never mistake legibility with communication. They're not the same thing. Just because someone's read the word.
What the fuck? That was so unnecessary.
Okay.
Wow.
The way that you folded and landed like that and were just totally fine.
Yeah.
Was beautiful.
And I love that this pedestrian is about to go up this war zone.
Yeah, he's like, it's fine.
I find it interesting that you mentioned font size. Like you say, 12 is standard.
When you're printing it on an 8.5 by 11, is what I meant.
Yeah, so we write a lot of reports. And every one of our reports is written in either size 10 or 11, and there seems to be some dispute about which size to use. And sometimes you'll even see them side by side, and you won't be able to tell what's wrong until you like really look closer. But everyone pretty much universally does not like size 12 because it looks too big and blocky.
Yeah.
And every time I use size 9, people just go, whoa, 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 whoa. There's old people here, and like no, these are the old people saying this to me. Like, well, people in their 50s, they're like, listen, I can't read 9, so
I
it
think
has
12,
to be bigger.
Like 12 is for like legibility for like teachers and shit.
For teachers and shit.
Yeah.
Well, we are like. We're not writing reports for fucking no one to read them, right?
Teachers
like our
read
reports
them.
are supposed to be legible as well.
Teachers read them.
Our reports?
Not yours.
Yeah, I just think that 12 is okay, but you can get a lot more information on the page if you go with 11.
Of course.
Like that one point adds up a lot faster than you think it would.
But are you adjusting the leading correctly?
The lettering?
The leading.
I actually don't know what that is.
It's the vertical space between lines.
Oh.
You would save a lot of space if you had slightly adjusted that. It's always set to auto, and every program you use, it starts off with auto.
Which is sort of like a 1.15 spacing?
It's a percent-based spacing is auto.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like based off a percent of the font size.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because leading is measured, I think as far as the computer's concerned, it's measuring like the tops. What is happening with the physics in this game?
I love it.
It's great actually, but the leading, a computer I'm pretty sure measures it from the tops of each line, not the bottom then the top. So if you do leading wrong, you'll actually have like letters over top of each other. So auto is good to set it while you find the size that you like, but then you should change the leading. Yeah.
Yeah, I when I was writing reports in school, every time you go to write a report, it was always new. It was always, all right, well, let's try and figure something out, and let's maybe grab an old assignment and just fucking slap it together. But now that I'm working at a company, the company has a very specific way of writing them. So it's not, you don't have to start at scratch every time. Like, you know what the basics are supposed to look like. You know what your title page is supposed to be. And,
title page?
Yeah, you gotta have a title page, man.
I haven't heard title page in like 8 years.
One thing that was weird for me with like writing reports is that when I got to grade 12, it was the first time I ever really had an appreciation for English class. And so I really started getting into the essays. But and then immediately I went off to school in university to be an engineer, and engineers do not write essays. If you write an essay, people will slap you up the side of the head because it's just a waste. It's a waste of time. Right? Essays are supposed to feel good when you read them. Reports are not supposed to feel good. They're supposed to be accurate.
Yeah. They're supposed to be reports.
Well, there's a metric you can use to decide how readable something is. It goes from
Legible?
0 to... What?
Legible?
No. That has nothing to do with legibility. It is a readability scale.
That was a really good shot, by the way.
Thank you.
Also, there was a time where you jumped out of a vehicle that was going off of into the water, and your jump was so good, and I just didn't mention it at the time.
Okay, well, thanks for bringing it up now.
You're welcome.
So it's a scale of how readable something is just based off the words that are used in it. So
oh, readability. I see.
I am a cat. Well, not that that makes sense, but that is a very readable sentence. Super easy, so that would be 100. And a non-readable sentence would be, oh no, oh no, oh no. A non-readable sentence would be something super convoluted. Like, have you ever seen one of those things that sounds good but doesn't say anything? Like, we want to diversify the way our profile looks with the way that the company involves in the things that... And by the time you get to the end of the sentence, you have to reread the sentence to figure out what they're saying.
That matches the policy given on the website.
Exactly. That would be a super low readability.
Yeah.
And what they pointed out is that engineers usually fall in like the 40 range, 40% readable. And it's because technical language sometimes is not... It doesn't flow like an essay does. But then they started pointing out that there's a ton of companies where if you look at all of the memos the company puts out, their readability is like 15, 20.
Shit.
And those are the companies that in the end usually get busted for fraud or one of these various other things because there's a reason all the reports are bullshit.
Right.
Right? If you were to go like read a Google report, it wouldn't be filled with bullshit because Google actually does things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. As far as readability goes, like there's times where you read like a logo, or not a logo, like a slogan or something of a company, and you're like trying to check them out, and it's like, what do you do? Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you do. Like, I still like you find elegant solutions for partners with the what? Like, what is this? Wow.
Wow.
What is your fucking job, man?
It's just a bunch of fancy words put together.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that woman who was, for a time, the richest self-made woman in the world until everybody realized it was like 100% a scam?
Okay, that's actually a pretty broad explanation for me.
Okay.
I feel like that's happened before. Twice even.
So anyways, so this woman who dressed herself to look like Steve Jobs, which is what makes it even weirder, she came up with this company, and the idea was that they'd be able to do a whole range of blood tests that would normally take, like, you've never donated blood, have you?
You trying to fucking put me on the spot right now?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
You say I'm not a lifesaver?
So
like, maybe I donate in different ways, all right?
when you donate
maybe I have
blood,
whole doors for people who do donate, all
they
right?
take, like, 3 vials of your blood in order to run a series of tests, just to make sure that your blood is good.
3 is the minimum for a pattern?
No, just that's how much they need.
No.
And also, I think they run 3 different tests. But anyways,
And because they didn't have vials that were 3 times bigger.
They need a shitload of blood. That's sort of the reality. They have to draw blood from you to perform those tests. Whereas the idea was you could prick someone's finger and run that whole battery of tests based off that small prick on the finger.
Well, that would be revolutionary, wouldn't it?
Exactly. And so they raised millions and millions of dollars, billions perhaps even. She was worth billions of dollars at the time. Fuck off. And after a while, people realized that they had fabricated all the data, they had lied to their investors, so it was just, all of it was just based off horseshit. So she was the world's most wealthy woman based off a lie. So suddenly, oh man, now I gotta fight you guys too and protect your high value target? Fine. I'll do everything.
You walk into the room, dude's protecting the dude, shoot all the dudes, you're like, don't worry, you're safe now.
I'll protect you from the world.
And can I say, this scene is fucking awesome, man. Every vehicle that's on fire is so cool and so well done, and it's like really smooth, even though it's not. I don't think it's running at 60 FPS. It's very smooth, though.
Shall I also point out I'm firing a grenade launcher at an oil refinery?
Yeah, that's not dangerous. I don't see the amount of JonTron episodes where he just responds with, "I don't see anything wrong with that." And it's like it's so funny to me. I mean, hey, if you don't see anything wrong with it.
The music is very James Bond as well, or at least it was.
That's like Star Wars. That's
A
like
little
John
bit, yeah.
Williams.
Yeah, I could just see AT-ATs coming down this road.
Yeah, super slow. Like, who the fuck designed that thing? What does it even do? It's like a pretty awful machine. Like, it has like a big guns, but like, couldn't you have designed one that just fires guns a lot further?
That's one thing I really like about Boston Dynamics and some of the robots they've come up with, is that they prove that a lot of sci-fi is more imagination than it is reality. Because usually they do shit like that. They're like, oh, well, it's going to have legs if it's going to walk. Why the fuck would it look like a dog? Like, why would they design it to look like a big dog? That's not an efficient design.
It's like a giraffe with like no stability. The thing falls over to a cable from a tiny flying machine. It's supposed to be the Empire.
Yeah, you'd figure they would have something figured out. And also, what kind of fucking cable is going to hold together those legs? Like, just imagine how much force those legs are putting out to try and move that huge thing.
Yeah, an even better point is like it's not even stable with like the tiniest thing wrapped around the bottom of it.
I bet you those legs, like those feet, were designed to crush buildings or something. I bet you there's a reason for that shit.
I don't know, man. I think that thing is just a big useless pile of shit.
Did I just bring you here to protect you, to take you elsewhere, you fucking piece of shit? What?
That fucking guy's face.
You are the worst person ever. That must have been a really important meeting.
They're in there, it's just fucking explosions going on. He's like, so the quarterly sales report, we're really gonna have to move forward on this, on these taxes.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but I bet you he was meeting a prostitute. Just saying.
Oh yeah. And
why would I be running him around all these body houses?
She keeps stopping, and he's like, keep going. He's like, don't worry about it. I got a guy. I got a guy for that.
Yeah, he's covering us.
He's like, look. I pay people to do things. This is what I'm paying you to do. I paid that guy to do that thing. You don't worry about that thing,
Yeah.
okay?
You know how much I paid you for this? Imagine how much I paid him to do that.
Yeah.
Just don't worry.
But he's got a fucking $1 million from playing this game for an hour.
I've got to be past that now. I made at least 600K since we started.
You think Mercenaries like turn to regular people and they're like, I make what you make in 2 years in 1 night.
Probably
And then they
not.
make
I
fun
don't
of
think they
people
have
for-
those conversations with regular
And they make
people.
fun of people for not being in the club.
Yeah, that guy had a bad day.
He's alive though. He got it.
Not anymore.
Some of these guys would actually live. Like they're just like writing them off.
It's true. They also die from 1 punch. It used to be 2 in the last game.
Oh, maybe you just trained so hard you became One Punch Man.
I'm just that badass. So would I have to lose my primary to pick up a pistol? Yeah.
That's a weird decision.
It's a very weird decision.
That's a bad balancing act. There's a reason why pistols are usually sidearms. It's to balance out not having to reload.
I really like that. Switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading.
Your fruit killing skills are remarkable.
We should play that again. Oh my god, I'm out of bullets. They actually run out of bullets, the MGs. Notice these fly straight.
They do. It's actually a pretty excellent RPG because normally they're really bad because those fins don't do a lot.
I think even in reality they don't fly as well as they do in this game. Whoa, that was lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Good enemies converging from all sides.
You gonna collect that oil there?
I don't know if I need it.
I think you forgot what you're here for. Oil. The lifeblood of America and all its allies.
Yeah,
If you don't like oil, then you don't like freedom.
I forget exactly what it was about. I have a feeling it was actually about the BP oil spill. And someone was just like, all right, America needs to invade the Gulf of Mexico now because they have oil.
Oh, jeez. It's
Oh,
funny
no.
because it's true and not funny.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Next time, medevac.
The contract cancel is gonna cancel it.